Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to another Geometry Dash video. Today I'm going to be building more of your dumb ideas that you sent in on Twitter, which you should follow by the way. Thank you for the support on the first episode of this series. I think it's hilarious. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, because there's a lot of dumb stuff on the way in the rest of this series. Oh my, I have so many tweets bookmarked. I can't wait to get through them all. I'm going to combine two together. Zero Skill says a level where only these objects are visible, which are the mini shape objects. And Kalen says make a good level and align everything by X and Y. I can't promise it's going to be good, but I will align all of those objects by X and Y, because there's going to be a lot of them. I'm going to use all of the same spikes to make this a lot easier for me to structure, since I'm not allowed any of the objects to be visible. For that reason, I'm going to get rid of the saw, because that was a pretty foolish decision. A peculiar timing. You've got to time that late so you don't land on this object. Let's get to business with a block design that I'm going to make out of the triangle objects. Going to make a neat little effect with the plus object, not the cross object. We're going to be using black blending for this on B4. We're going to keep block transitions on for now. Not sure how that's going to work. The Z order doesn't matter because it's blending. What we're going to do is keep on adding new groups to this object. Just keep on copy pasting, adding a new group until we have 20 different objects. Okay, 20th object in. So the groups are 2 to 21 and a new 22 that's going on every single object. On this jump pad, it's just a coincidence that it's there. It's not timed. There's going to be a lot of these, so that's just going to be a one-off timing. We're going to make this group copy the color of the background with a bit more brightness, a bit more saturation, you know, get a bit cheeky. And starting with group 2, we are going to move this 5 blocks to the left. 2.2 seconds with an ease out. So let's see. That's not 5 blocks. That's 0.5 blocks. It doesn't finish the movement before it fades off, which is cool. Allows us to kind of manipulate that easing. Although, I don't know what this box does. Anyway, we've got to keep copy pasting these triggers and making the magnitude of these values add up to 50. So we've got a minus 40 and a 10. Then the next one's going to be minus 30 and a 20. So the movement goes into a diagonal shape like that, and it's going to make a diamond around this center point. Now, obviously, if you watched my corner piece effect video, I did do something very similar to this, but I think it's going to be cool to use for this. It's a completely different context that it's used in. It's not a background this time. It's just a pattern that we've got to trust. Oh man, I think I actually nailed the number of groups. I was expecting to have to use a different number of them, but boom, we have our explosion right there. Probably going to change the easing on these. Ooh, exponential in out is nice, dude. Now we can stack this if we're careful. I'm going to put this on a different editor layer just in case. We'll move it 1 block to the right, build helper, and we shall select those objects and change the hue on them by like plus 50. 40. That's not 50. And change the hue on the objects a bit and realign them as well. So does that make it... Ooh, that's pretty cool. What we could do is change the move time of the second set of triggers and move them before. There we go. That's a pretty cool effect in my opinion. We're going to link that together and build helper in different places and just underlay it underneath some of the objects in the level. Then we're going to disable link controls, select all of the move triggers with select filter. You can see in the bottom left right there. When I have something in the custom delete button, I can press select all and it will only select those objects. It's a neat start. I really like the layered movements that this has. Another thing I could do is select all of the plus objects and give them a new group of 454. Okay. And we could definitely make this subtly move around a bit. And why not add little rotations from time to time as well for that group? 180 degrees, it's going to go back to being a plus shape. And we can have that on orbs and pads and stuff. Very subtle, but that's fine. Okay, so something for the top of the object. We're going to put an arrow at the top left corner of the block like this on 2 times, which is going to be on color channel 1, but with a bit less brightness. Then I'm going to copy paste it and move it 1 step to the right over and over again until we have 15 objects, just like that. Then we can probably line the tops of these blocks with this blurry kind of outline. We can probably put that on T2 and it gives it a weird foreground glow. I mean, these blocks aren't allowed at all, but I think an outline like that is going to be cool on the top of the blocks. Ah, it's interesting because the edges don't have that brightness that the middle does. Ooh. What if I make a black version of these objects on the layer below and created a little underlay version? So say if I made these objects invisible on the top. That is ridiculous having a backspace 464, by the way. If I did that, okay, if I scale it down, it could work. The issue is the lack of brightness on the edges. Okay, cool. Now what do I add? Oh, this looks really patchy, but I really like the aesthetic and the block transitions on and off the screen. Gonna make a really simple spike with a black outline that's on B3 and 1. Then on the layer above B3 and 2, there's going to be a white version. What I could definitely do is select all of the bottom objects, copy paste them, go to a new editor layer number 5 on the layer below, maybe half space them downwards and give them a new group, which can be put on a low opacity. Wow, is that really what the object stacking has done? Jeez, I can barely even turn down the opacity. Look at that, 0.9, it's still so visible. That's cool. It gives it like a little drop shadow. We can definitely make the most out of that. Let's give them unique groups. So I have 4 of those low opacity layers on groups 466 to 469. And I'm sending them down, and I'm going to send them back up, one after the other. I might space them out a little bit more. I want to see how that works. It could be quicker. They need to move up a lot quicker. I might just make some matching decoration with the spikes using the circles as little floating orbs that kind of assist the structures, really. Which works, because I had to change these spikes to T3 anyway, so they would go above the glow that I added. It's not glow, you know what I mean, like the glowy outline. And we could honestly copy a row of these movements, move them a little bit to the side, and 475 can have a slight offset to 474. Then all that's left are these dash objects. I don't know what to do with them. I guess I could put them on T2 in these little cracks right here on white, just like the other objects. Okay, that looks good to me. That's only using the shape object. I think that's neat. Now, I'm going to make a copy of this level and show you how you can really mangle it with a line X and a line Y as someone wished. Here we go. We select all objects, a line Y, a line X. Look at that. What? Honestly, some of these structures look pretty cool. Like, imagine that as a ship section structure. I think that would go pretty hard. We've got some seagulls over here. We've got a random glowfish. I have no idea what's going on. It's just a bunch of seagulls to me. That's how you can truly destroy a level. The movements are all off. Oh my god, dude. Oh my goodness. Something else that can truly break a level. Say if I have like a yellow square or something on color channel 3. No one asked for this. I'm just messing around at this point. If you hit paste state or paste color, oh my god, it can ruin everything. And it's undoable. Look, I've done this before. Put yourself in my shoes right now. Being 30 seconds done with a level and accidentally having that happen to you. AV Cup of Joe says, make a level that looks the same with preview mode on and off. I want to quickly acknowledge this level by Flash that does just this. It's called Unrendered. I think it's a fantastic job. He's put the triggers actually in the level, which is super cool. All right, let me just place 4 objects, 1 through 4 in their color channels. You'll see how the editor, without preview mode turned on, represents these colors and shows you. I'm gonna cheat just to make this as closely accurate as possible. I'm just gonna straight up take a screenshot of this. Then I'm gonna bring up the color picker and go into paint and just pick the color, take the hex value, and just dump it straight into the color channel. I will leave the link to the hex extension mod in the description down below. You need a mod loader for it like Mega Hack V6. But if I turn on preview mode right now, provided that this is on color channel 1 and not 4, you'll see there is absolutely zero difference. Okay, now I need to make a grid that's going to go over the top of the level. Just going to mini space that into place. Shouldn't be too noticeable. I'm going to put that on B4 and just copy paste it a bit on this line. I have a grid of 64 by 64 of these lines. I'm just going to rotate it so we get a grid and then half space it. Okay, here we have our grid. We're not going to lock it to the x-axis because then obviously the object wouldn't slot onto the grid, would they? The grid would just be moving in the background. Hey, okay, we're getting somewhere now. That is so bizarre to have in preview mode. Jeez, look at that. Dude, this makes me think of 1.9 to create with bricks like this. Just simple designs when I was such a noob, didn't know what I was doing. Just gotta make sure I put on don't fade, don't enter, and glow is turned off while I play this. Also just going to move the teleporter a tiny bit up so I start up a bit higher. Dude, that is crazy to me. And I guess I could replicate a trigger. Why not? Okay, so we need a slightly bigger circle, maybe 1.2 scale. Itch down like that on red. Then we need some small scale down text with white blending. And we can even put the duration line. Also going to turn off rotation on this object because that's not how the editor works. And I also find it weird that I can place regular objects and I'm still fulfilling the challenge. And here it is, a level that looks the same in preview mode and in game. Apart from the color specific details like the background, the gray line, that's obviously not going to look the same in non-preview mode as you can see, but the rest is pretty much spot on. I like that. Endergato says a level with only circles. I got this in the bag, don't worry. Now, I could take the suggestion literally and only use circle objects like the pulsing ones and the circle in the chain tab, but I'm gonna create some other artificial circles, if that makes sense. I'm going to take this suggestion as only using circle shapes because there's a lot more room for creativity, and plus I think it's going to be a very cool looking style to pursue. Anyway, color channel 1 copies the color of the background so that the objects aren't black, but they're very dark. We got that dark teal. This circle is on group 2 for the movement. It's going to be on B3. Something like 1. It needs a new group 3. And warning, I am going to be using scale hacks in this video just for my own ease and enjoyment. Anyway, I am going to copy paste, scale down this circle to 0.9, increase the brightness by about plus 0.06, increase the Z order and give it another new group. And I need to keep repeating this until we have a bunch of circles in the middle. I didn't link any of this together, so I'm just gonna have to hope that it works perfectly fine. Can't make any mistakes in this process now. Oh, we have reached a point where the decrement makes it go on the inside. So, this is the point where I place my center ID, which I'm just gonna make 100 because it's easy to remember. Gotta give it the moving group as well, and an invisible group, but now I am going to create a new circle in the middle that I can use for the rest. Gonna turn off scale hacks now. We need to copy the inner values and paste them onto here, except change them to editor layer 2 and increase the Z order and increase the group and all that stuff. This circle is group 12. We started on 3, so that means we have 10 circles, which is honestly perfect. We're going to lock to the x-axis straight away. My strategy is aligning it on the left and then moving it 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 5 blocks away, which is 200. And we shall move each layer by itself, starting with 3. We'll give it like a 3-second move time, I guess. And I'm gonna guess around 260, which is 26 blocks. So it's moving those 20 plus an extra 6, so it snaps into the middle, roughly. Just gonna make sure I have don't fade and don't enter enabled on this object, just so it doesn't have a buggy transition or anything like that. Anyway, we're gonna stagger this movement 2 blocks between. It's gonna have the same for every single layer. It's just gonna move separately. No, you can see the holes in it. God damn it. We need to be more careful in how we do this, man. We need to space this out as minimally as possible. We're going to scale it down to like 0.3, I guess. Please work. I would love it if it worked. Oh my god, it's huge. I didn't realize it was that big. Okay, we have a problem. We got to get this alignment just right. Otherwise, it's going to sit in a really awkward spot in a wrong place. And it's going to annoy me so much. That honestly looks about right. Okay, I found an annoying problem. Since it's moving in layers, I now need 10 separate center IDs, because no matter how I move the center ID across with this circle, it's always going to be out of sync with another circle, and it's going to mess up rotation. So the center with group 100 needs 3 now, and then the next center on 101 needs 4. So this is going to be a weird process, but I'm willing to do it if it's going to make my effect look cool. So we don't need any more movements. The centers all move with their layers. All we need to do now is set up the rotations, which is going to be pretty simple as well. 3 rotates around 100 to start off with. Going to say 15 seconds, 2 times round 360 with ease and out. Then I need to stagger the movements again, just adding 1 to each arrow. Then once all of those are done, I am going to move the center down by half a block, then select the whole thing and move it up by half a block. So this is still remaining in the center at the end. Okay, there is the rotation I am looking for, although it's not rotating as much as I would have liked, because it's huge, right? It should have a huge rotation. So I'm going to move this an extra block. I'm going to align it so the center is actually in the middle. Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, that is beautiful. We're going to make it rotate more, though, and then I'm going to have a look at it in normal mode, see how the edges of the screen look. I might have to put something behind this that's circle-based, but we'll see. You know what? I don't mind it being light at the sides there. That looks so cool, dude. I made this effect in my 10 effect speedrun, but it's not nearly as polished as this. So if I use the same color as the backdrop of the circle on a B2, don't fade, with the number 12, we're gonna layer a smaller circle on top that kind of skips to plus 0.2, then another one that skips to like 0.6. So we have the 3 brightnesses in a much more limited circle set, I guess. We give this one group 14, and the next one is gonna be on 15. I'm going to put that on editor layer 8, and that lets me keep each individual layer and then have one to select for group 15. I'm also going to fix that up for the left object, put that on 9. Just going to slap these wherever it feels appropriate to. They're going to be moving separately, so it's going to be impossible to coordinate. 14 can have really long movements for 5 seconds with ease in out, minus 60, plus 10, and then after that, 15 can have less movement, I guess. I don't know if this is even going to be possible in normal mode, but we'll just see how the transition works. Oh my god, okay, they don't kill me. I forgot about that. It's not bad, it's just a bit impossible. Oh god. The easiest way to nerf it, I think, is just to have the saw be half of the structure. Okay, let's test it now. Is it gonna work? Hey, you can see them coming. Okay, that's actually a really neat ending. I like that. Oh, that's twice in this series that the backgrounds just came back to haunt me. And along with these objects that move onto the screen, I'm going to scale up some T3 white objects that also have group 13. And don't fade, don't enter. I can't forget that. I'm just going to put them every 5 blocks, but I'm also going to put them on the top. I don't know. I thought it would be cool to have some foreground that brings in that white that was lost in the beginning into this part right here. Yeah. I'm actually quite a big fan of this, if I do say so myself. I'm happy with what I've made. And this is actually surprisingly fun. I don't know. There's something cool about it that just keeps my attention. Stop! It's gone. Yeah, you see? That's how the level should look. Just pretend that didn't move across the screen. Thank you so much for watching this Your Terrible Ideas Geometry Dash video. It's so much fun to make these, man. Just the stupidest ideas in the world, or the coolest ones, like the circles. Like, so good. Leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day.